guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and I want to talk about Superman and Fantastic Four, and the reason why I believe they will always fail, or why I believe the upcoming movies are going to be failures. And these are some factors that we just kind of need to kind of talk about. And I think I think a lot of people tend to forget a lot of these reasonings. So, as you know, Fantastic Four, first family of Marvel, and Superman, the first comic book hero of all time, right? And over the years, DC, along with Marvel, has purposely self-sabotaged the success of Fantastic Four and Superman. Anytime Superman or Fantastic Four had any kind of shot at the spotlight or whatever, here comes some wackadoo weirdos, some executive orders that was like, no, fuck that shit. No, fuck that shit. You get what I'm saying? And that's on them. That's on them. Like, okay, let's take the Fantastic Four, for instance. The Fantastic Four is your all-American family, right? Who are scientists, explorers, and superheroes, right? And they are the linchpin of the Marvel Universe. When you need to introduce a new character or an event or something like that, you introduce them through the Fantastic Four. That's how good the Fantastic Four was. And then, of course, that led to animated, several animated shows. That also led to movies and video games as well, right? So, but the thing about it, right, is that Marvel was so salty that Fantastic Four was so popular, and because they had a bankruptcy, they had no choice but to sell off Fantastic Four along with a lot of other Marvel characters to keep the company afloat. And that's how we got the 2005 and 2007 Fantastic Four movies, which, as much as people try to bash it all of a sudden because of the MCU, they're not bad movies, honestly. Did they take some liberties with the characters? Of course they did. Of course they did. Did they make a mistake by not going with Galactus and waiting for a third in the Silver Surfer movie that never came? Of course they did. But let's not pretend like those movies didn't put Fantastic Four on the map. You know, because at that time, the Fantastic Four were the central focus in the Marvel comic books. Yeah, they were in a lot of events. I saw the Fantastic Four in a lot of things when I was growing up, right? Of course, the Fox Kids Fantastic Four show, which I'm so mad that we only got 2 seasons of that. That was, you know what I mean? Especially when we got the second season. The second season looked so good. I was so excited. I wanted to see more. And then, of course, we got Fantastic Four's, World's Greatest Heroes. That was another show. That was really cool. Honestly, I really thought that was really, really cool. Them having, I think they had about 3 to 4 solo video games where it's just them as the focus. And then, of course, you know, you had Civil War, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2, with the Fantastic Four in there. You get what I'm saying? Like, the Fantastic Four was pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? Hell, even when the 2007 movie came out, people were still like, okay, where's Fantastic Four 3 at? You know what I'm saying? Nobody didn't say that we didn't want Fantastic Four 3. The studio is the one who decided not to continue. The studio should have went ahead with their plans. If you were gonna, you should just went ahead and did the Silver Surfer movie and did Fantastic Four 3. That's what you should have did. But then, because of that, Marvel didn't like the fact that they weren't getting a lot of the piece of the pie. So then they said, you know what? Fuck this shit. Let's push the Fantastic Four aside. Let's change. First off, they changed their costumes to that ugly ass red costume. Ugh. That was probably the worst Fantastic Four costumes I've ever seen. Was that when they got to the red era? Then let's get rid of them let's do this whole build up to Secret Wars and everything, and let's get rid of them out of the Marvel Universe for years. And then they canceled Fantastic Four, at issue, the longest running Fantastic Four comic book, around like issue 585 or something like that. Like they were in the 500s, I believe, 500 to 600 issues, and they literally canceled it right there. So I think they did like a celebration, and then that was it. And then Fantastic Four was over, right? Got rid of them for years. Made sure the Fantastic Four was not in the Marvel Universe hardly at all. Ben and Johnny was there, but Sue, Reed, the children, you couldn't find them to save their lives. Doctor Doom who? You get what I'm saying? Then let's also talk about Superman. So because this is what I need y'all to understand. After the success of Superman 2, the studio decided they wanted to get sillier. Something that Christopher Reeves did not. He did not enjoy Superman 3 and 4 at all. He think Superman 3 and 4 was terrible. And then they did that spinoff with Supergirl that they actually wanted him in. But then when he saw the script was going to be silly too, he said hell no to that too. So then we got Lois and Clark, The Adventures of Superman, right? Which was kind of like a television series that was also happening during the time of the death of Superman, the return of Superman, the whole wedding to Superman with Lois and Clark getting married or whatever. And in 3 seasons, y'all canceled this shit, right? I think it was 3 or 4 seasons. Canceled it, left it on the cliffhanger, and then we got Smallville, right? Okay, cool, great. And we had Superman the animated series. That's fine. That was really cool. But again, that was it. You get what I'm saying? So once we got Lois and Clark done, then we got to Smallville, Superman the animated series, and then we got Justice League. Okay, cool, right? After that, they wanted to bring back the Christopher Reeve Superman because everybody was loving Christopher Reeve Superman. So they did Superman Returns, which is the official sequel to the Christopher Reeves Superman movies. The audience said, fuck that shit. So then DC said, okay, all right, cool. So we're going to do the New 52. Then they rebooted Superman completely. They removed the underwear. They gave him armor instead of a suit. You know, they gave him an armor. Him and Lois no longer together at all. So all the history and everything gone, kaput, out of here. Get out of here. We don't do no Superman and Lois no more around these parts, around here, boy. So once that got gone, the audience said, no, fuck this shit too. So people wasn't reading Superman Action Comics or Superman New 52 run because everybody was like, what the fuck? And then DC said, you know what? So let's also have Superman and Wonder Woman as a couple because that's really cool, right? And the audience said, no, fuck that shit. We don't want it. Then, even before the New 52, I forgot, because this was before the New 52, they actually had Superman denounce his American citizenship, even though he was born here, even though he was born in America. I mean, not born in America, even though he was even though his rocket landed in America and he was raised by American parents. Oh no, Superman needs to abandon it because, you know, this is terrible. You know, America is terrible or whatever. Then they slowly, then during the New 52, it was like, oh, we're going to get rid of Truth, Justice, and American Way. Because that's wrong. That's harmful. So they got rid of that as well. They also changed Superman's personality to be a little bit edgier, a little bit darker, you know what I mean, a little bit mopier or whatever and stuff like that. I know some people are going to be like, oh, well, Man of Steel. I'm about to get to Man of Steel too. This is where the major downfall for Superman start. When we got to the New 52. When we got to the DCEU. So we got to the DCEU and Zack Snyder gave us Henry Cavill Superman. The movie was a success, right? But it had a controversial ending where Superman snapped Zod's neck And the audience and some people overreacted and went online and just created this big ass smear campaign about Superman would never do this, but ignoring everything that Christopher Reeves did in his movies where he actually killed people. Okay, fine, whatever. Then we got to BVS, Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice. Once again, we have people over exaggerating about the horribleness of this movie. Even though Superman merchandise was at an all-time high, even though Superman popularity was at an all-time high, DC said, fuck that shit, right? So after Justice League, after Zack Snyder's Justice League, we were promised Man of Steel 2. It was already in the cards, right? But because the Justice League movie and BVS didn't make $1 billion, they canceled it. And that means no Man of Steel 2, no Man of Steel 3, no more appearance of Henry Cavill Superman. Okay. For almost, 10 years, culture zeitgeist of Superman being in the public eye was barely there until we got Supergirl. Yeah. And Melissa Benoist's Supergirl introduced the CW Superman, which was played by Tyler Hoechlin, but Tyler did such a good job, they gave him Superman and Lois, which is a great show. If you have not seen it, please watch it. All 4 seasons. It's on Blu-ray set. You can get it. Good show. Good show. And it was based off of Man of Steel and Rebirth. Now let's get into Rebirth. This is the second part of why Superman failed. Because DC saw that we didn't like that bullshit from the New 52. So they said, okay, you don't like the shit from the New 52. We're going to bring back classic Superman, and we're going to give you this little miniseries first. So they gave us a miniseries called Lois and Clark. I think it was called Superman, Lois and Clark. And it was the show that the pre-New 52 Superman, post-crisis Superman, the Superman that we all love, him and Lois had got accidentally transported to the New 52, was stranded in the New 52 with their new baby John Kent, right? And that little adventures, and it showed what Superman was doing up until the Superman that we love meets with the New 52 Superman and then killed off the New 52 Superman, so our Superman can take his place in the main continuity, in the New 52, which Wally West, all that bullshit, we got DC Rebirth, right? Okay, DC Rebirth merged the New 52 and the regular DC continuity together and gave us an amazing Superman Rebirth, right? Gave him a costume based on Henry Cavill's Superman suit, which was pretty cool to this day. I think it's amazing. Then we get to this fake faux pas Action Comics 1000, right? Where they want to celebrate Superman while also bringing in Brian Michael Bendis. Brian Michael Bendis took all the goodwill that was gained with DC Rebirth, right? So all the goodwill that people love Superman. Superman was coming out bi-weekly, and you also had Action Comics, and you also had Trinity, and you also had Super Sons, right? So you had Superman in all these books that people loved. People was praising it, right? And then Brian Michael Bendis came in and said, let's get rid of half of that bullshit. Let's completely strip Superman and deconstruct everything about him, and we're going to give him his underwear back. Okay. Okay, great. So that destroyed the goodwill with the fans. So what I'm saying is, the reason why Superman and Fantastic Four is because anytime Marvel and DC had something successful, they would get petty and get somebody in there that would destroy it, right? Because the audience been begging for Henry Cavill Superman, and you know what they said? They teased him for Black Adam, made Henry Cavill announce that he was going to be Superman, and then said, no, fuck that shit. James Gunn is going to do a new Superman movie with Diet Henry Cavill, aka David Cornsweet, with this Superman movie whose suit looks like trash. And And here we are. And the same thing with Fantastic Four. We're going to do the Fantastic Four, but we're going to tone down Johnny. We're going to make sure Sue is the leader of the team. We're going to make sure that she's also not the damsel in distress. We're also going to make sure that she is a mom. And we're going to gender bend Silver Surfer. And we're also going to race swap Reed Richards to Pedro Pascal. Oh, okay. And Ben Grimm is not going to have his Brooklyn accent. He's just going to be some smuck who voicing Ben Grimm. That's it. And we're going to put them in these cheap costumes. If you notice, the Fantastic Four and Superman, comic book accurate costumes, sort of, but looks cheap. How the fuck that work? Right? And what I'm saying is, the reason why I'm saying that these are the downfalls of these characters, I mean, both of them, is because the fact that Marvel and DC has purposely done everything to diminish them in the public eye. When they had opportunities, instead of striking the iron when it was hot, they let certain things get in the way of the success of those characters. Okay. I want y'all to look at it as a business person. Whether you agree or not, look at this as a business thing. Okay, so I am Marvel, right? I had to sell off a lot of my characters to make sure my company stays afloat, right? And these movies are doing successfully well. We are also creating video games, merchandise, and people are excited. People can't wait to see more of Fantastic Four, X-Men, and these other characters, right? Right? Okay, great. So why would I purposely go to Marvel comic books and tell them, because I think Disney brought them at the time too, why would I purposely be like, hey, diminish the Fantastic Four importance in Marvel comic books? Get rid of their asses. Any video games featuring them, strip their asses away from it. If we were going to do anything with Fantastic Four outside of Fox, get rid of it. Cancel it, right? I want it gone. Do you know how ass backwards that is? Do you not know how ass backwards that is? To literally do this to your own goddamn... You literally shot yourself in the foot. And the same thing with Superman. You rebooted him with the New 52 that nobody asked you for. Then you made him a joke again with Superman Returns. Then you finally got something that people had, but because certain people didn't like the ending, you panicked. And for 10 years after those 3 movies that Superman were featured in, you said, fuck Superman. Then you decided, okay, we understand you don't like the New 52, so here is post-crisis Superman. We brought him back. Yay, we love it. Okay, but we're going to hire somebody who's going to get rid of all of the goodwill of that so they can tell some deconstruction story of Superman, right? And then we're also going to trick people into thinking that we're going to bring back Henry Cavill Superman, but we're not, because we're going to do a soft reboot of the DC universe. Even though the audience is telling you what the fuck they wanted. They wanted another Superman movie with Henry Cavill. You get what I'm saying? And it's the same thing was like, okay, but with Jessica Alba, Chris Evans, and Ian Guloff, we all wanted Fantastic Four 3 and the Silver Surfer solo movie. I'd rather you had continued that than do this bullshit. You get what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. They have purposely shot themselves in the foot by trying to diminish Superman, by trying to diminish Fantastic Four because of this or that or whatever pettiness. You have literally killed the way you killed any excitement overall for the characters. Once you push the culture zeitgeist, once you told your audience that you don't give a damn about their opinions or their thoughts, once you get those fans goodwill and you destroys it, why would they return? They told you with the Fantastic Four. They did not want race swap Fantastic Four. They did not want Sue Storm to be the leader of the Fantastic Four. They did not want gender bent Silver Surfer. And you did everything that they told you they didn't want. And it's shocked that people do not want to see this movie or is criticizing this movie. The same thing with David Cornsweat's Superman. People told you they didn't want this reboot. They don't want you to reboot the DCEU. They want you to continue with the characters that they love, with the actors that they love. Just tell better stories. That's all you had to do. But instead, you said, no, fuck that shit. We're going to do a soft reboot, and we're going to put David Cornsweat in a terrible Superman costume, and we're going to put all these jokes in the movie, and it's confused that people don't want to support this movie. I don't get it. Y'all keep doing this to yourselves. I never understood that. If I was running a company, my biggest thing is to make profit. And I'm talking about positive profits, not just doing some shit that is quick money. I'm talking about something that's long-lasting money. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm telling you, if we were getting a Henry Cavill Superman movie right now, you would have made $1 billion no time flat, and people would have went back to go constantly watch it because people want to see Henry Cavill as Superman. They want to see this man finish out his time as Superman. They want to see him in several movies. That man still look good. And he's a dad now. So, bam, you could already do the Superman Rebirth run. And you said, fuck that shit. Make it make sense. Fantastic Four. If you really want to do a Fantastic Four movie and you were going to do it outside the MCU in an alternate timeline, you had Chris Evans, Jessica Alba, Ian Guloff, the guy who played Ben Grimm. They are still alive. They all still look good. All you had to do was just pick it up and then make sure that Sue and Reed had teenage children, have them deal with Galactus, and then bam, bring their ass to the MCU. $1 billion. Because you want to know why? Because people love that cast already. People love that cast. That's all you had to damn do. But you said, no, fuck that, because that's just stupid. Because you care more about agenda-driven bullshit and to try to one-up some fans or people that you don't like. Okay, while also shooting yourself in the foot and expecting the different results. Like, y'all literally keep doing the same dumb shit ideas and literally expect that dumb idea is going to change people's perspective and make sure that they're going to get money. No, that's not how the fuck this shit works. That's not how any of this works at all. And I hate to say it, but y'all did. Y'all, Superman and Fantastic Four deserves the failures that they're going to get. It's true. You can get mad at the wall, you can whine, cry, or all that bullshit. But the truth of the matter is, it's not about Snyderverse, it's not about Fox, whatever. It's not about any of that stuff. It's about the fact that you took two Culture Stone comic book characters, a family, and the one who started everything, and you said fuck it because of some petty bullshit. And now y'all are hoping that what? People are going to come because you did some soft reboot, but did shit that still people don't like? But because you're hearing on people online talking about, well, they love it. Okay, great. But have they been showing up for the previous shit? And the answer is no. The answer is no. Just like all those people who keep talking about, oh, I love Superman. I love Superman. Superman would never, but never picked up a Superman comic book in their lives. Didn't even watch Superman and Lois. Didn't watch Superman the animated series. But will tell you what the fuck Superman has and has not done. Oh, okay. Fantastic Four. Same thing. Oh, I love Fantastic Four, but ain't nobody buying their comics. I'm just saying. Marvel makes sure that they don't include them in barely any video games. I'm being honest, Marvel. Y'all have diminished everything. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell y'all. I don't know what to tell you. You did this to yourselves. So, like I said, these are the reasons why Superman and the Fantastic Four will fail. But it is what it is. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.